it's very important that everyone is on mute. So please remember that. I know that from time to time we are forgetting. Of course, if there is a question, just raise hand and you can unmute yourself and ask the question so we can proceed, or keep your question in the chat. It depends how important it is to be responded immediately. So if it's important to be responded immediately, don't hesitate and just unmute yourself and ask the question. Otherwise, keep your question in the chat. Today we try, the agenda is very ambitious for 1 hour, very, very ambitious. I want to go over Bluemix usage we are going to have in this class, and I want to make sure that everyone is clear what we are doing and why we are doing this, because actually this week we start intensively with Bluemix, exploring some of the services there with the purposes of the topic of our class. Of course, I'm going to try very short overview of text analytics in which we have been working from previous week and advancing towards natural language processing, and also have at least 25 minutes for Watson Analytic walkthrough, which is going to get you started to the group project. So you understand that today's agenda is ambitious. We will try to cover as much as possible, and what is not possible, we will try to answer in class, and next week, as needed, we will do another WebEx. So regarding Bluemix, let me share my screen and make sure that everyone already what I'm sharing is not this. And make sure that everyone already has created according to the instruction of the classroom, the free Bluemix account, and has requested the 6-month free code from Elena. According to the information I have, almost everyone. Elena, I am correct?
Honestly, only 8 people requested the Bluemix code.
Only 8. So we are not in good track. I don't know why I was just the opposite understanding. So most importantly, I would like to stress how important it is you jump to this as soon as possible, because all the assignments are related with the platform where we are going to apply what we are studying in the project you are doing. As previously I pointed, Bluemix is a cloud deployment with a huge number of services and very good number of services which are analytical services which we are going to use in the cloud. How convenient is this? We understand that today the technology is moving toward using the services of analytics. Most of the tools, some of the tools you can install in your computer like R, Python, which are open source, free languages, and you can have in your computer. But when it goes to work with big data, the technology change, and that was what we have been discussing in the first 2 weeks, that big data is not just definition, characteristic, but the tool and the approach, how we deal with this data and how we extract the insight from this data, that ultimately this is the job of the data analyst, to extract insight from the data. So the tendency of having everything in your computer for this type of problem doesn't work, because any big data tool requires, let's say, at least deployment in network of commodity computer, distributed computer network. So we are talking about expensive infrastructure. What is the tendency today in this direction in industry? There are two major directions. One direction, company deploy the required, let's say, the required infrastructure to deal with data in the, let's say, in hosting the server. But anyway, the company deploy Hadoop, Spark, and all relevant big data analytic tool to deal with big data. In this case, the company has to have the commodity hardware and software, and have to have maintenance, update, and all these things. So that is one direction. Let's say their company, which from several years this company have been a leader in this direction, which are Cloudera, Databricks. They provide free distribution of Hadoop, Spark, and of course, company contract them to manage their infrastructure. So even the software is open source free distribution Hadoop. When you deploy this for a company, you need to manage, you need on top a system to manage all this software. So this is one of the directions. The other direction is, as a company, you don't want any headache about the infrastructure. You have everything in the cloud, and what you do is contract services. So we are mostly going to work in our class in this second direction, in which we are going to use the services provided in Bluemix. For those of you who already have reviewed Bluemix, I'm sharing here the main screen of the catalog, starting from top to bottom. When you start scrolling, the number of services which are provided here, of course, is intimidating. And when you start, let's say, overviewing them, for each of them, you have to spend a lot of time in order to understand you need this, for what you need this. So, of course, we cannot do this in a single class. That's not the purpose. The purpose is you are exposed to use services in the cloud, which is the today tendency in any industry, but we will focus in very targeted group of services related with the topic of our course. One of the group is the data and analytic group, in which we are going to work with DashDB next week, with Hadoop and Spark the following week. And we are going to do Insight for Twitter in DashDB. I just skimmed very fast in the class. One of your colleagues find an article regarding this. I haven't clicked even in the link. That was shortly before we started this meeting. But let me just anticipate. This is the work we are going to do next week. Insight for Twitter with DashDB. So part of the analytic related with sentimental analysis, we will start next week. This week, what we are going to explore is related still with the topic we started previous week, which was text analytics, and advancing from the basic, let's say, topic in text analytics towards more complicated related with natural language processing. And when it goes to natural language processing, it goes in different direction. In the direction we are going to topic, because all these topics we are talking about, they are very broad and extensive. So we narrow in certain direction in which we are interested as a data analyst. As a data analyst, what is our interest in text analytics? What is our interest in natural language processing? And why we are going to spend a little time in this course on this. In order to be effective, we are not going to build anything on scratch. we are going to use at least couple of these, let's say, services of Watson here. They are shown in the screen, and we are going to explore them as a class, not as individual assignment. You will be exploring and sharing what you have learned. We are not going to go in deep, let's say, building on top of these services application, because it would require time and more programming skill. We just want to open the door of your understanding what is the importance of processing textual data and using application as natural language processing in so many areas of our life. That's why we are going to go to this part of the of Bloomix. So question up to here before proceeding to the next question. Anyone is not able to create the account in Bloomix? Anyone?
Professor Garcheva, this is Vivian Hunsley. I have a question or a comment. This particular screenshot shows different services under Watson than what was in the screenshot in the classroom. There were 4 or 5 different services that we were told to add, and I don't see those in my environment either. So they had the term beta next to them, I think. So I just wanted to let you know in case there's something we need to do to get ours up to date.
Okay, let me try to understand better. Is your screenshot the same I'm showing right now?
Yes.
So that is fine. That means because Watson updates this constantly, the screenshots were taken, let's say, at least 28 days before the class started, when we created the classroom, and the update was made after that, and we didn't realize. So thank you so much, and you understand that whatever we are doing constantly is updated, and this is part of your professional future experience. So thank you so much. So what is not matching is the screenshot in the classroom, right? Don't hear. What is not matching is the classroom?
Sorry, I'm using 2 mute buttons, the one on my phone and the one on the computer. In the week 3 discussion area, there's a screenshot that has examples of which services we should be subscribing to. That's what's different than this. Okay, they should be updated. That is, so I understood you correctly. We are in the same page. These screenshots were taken, let's say, late July, and since then this has changed. We will update the screenshot. But mostly you have to go to the same, which are named tone analyzer, let's say. We suggest them for purposes to narrow, because we understand that in 1 week you won't be able to explore all of them. That's why we would like that you concentrate on a couple of them. So we will take another screenshot and update them. But I understand that some of them are updated, some of them appear with different name, some of them don't appear. But I guess tone analyzer and visual recognition are in your classroom, right? The other maybe not. And maybe since the service has been updated, with update and adding different, what happened constantly, all these services are gaining, let's say, input constantly from user and constantly are updated. And with updated functionality, sometimes even the title changes slightly or drastically. It depends of the update. So it's totally understandable what you see there. But I guess at least 2 are the same, and the other 2 which are not the same, we are going to update. Other question up to here?
I guess, Vivian, I was gonna say just focus on the service names more, and also is there links in the classroom where you can watch the video about the service? You may find those useful. Just recommendation.
Mm. Yeah, but we need to update the screenshot.
I will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because
but I mean, again, there is no guarantee that the look and feel is not gonna change tomorrow. They may update again, so we'll see.
Right. Well, concept, insights, and relationship extraction are the two that aren't there.
concept,
Where?
it changed. Yeah, I see.
Okay. I'll go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and fix it. Thank you so much, Vivian.
Yeah. Okay. At least start concentrating in the one which are the same, and we will update this. Very important. So I want again to appeal that you as a team, as a class, share as much as possible, because we understand that there is no time in the class to work in each stuff as an individual assignment. So this task is going to be a class task, and we will learn together as much as possible and accumulate knowledge, which later on, maybe in your capstone project, some of your colleagues in the capstone are using this application, for instance, another. It depends what type of project. So we just opened the door for future with this in the classroom. Okay? So let's move on. Again, don't hesitate as soon as possible to create your account and request the code from Elena. It's very important. You see my number here is different. When you open account, yours is going to be 29, and with the code, it's going to go somewhere 180 days. Now, if you wait that your free account expires and you don't enter the key, for instance, when it says add credit card and add promo code, the key you receive, you have to click in this promo code and enter this promo code, which will extend your account. Very important. Two things keep in mind. You have to do this before your account expires. If your account expires, the code is not going to work. And secondly, don't enter any credit card, because these are academic codes, and if you enter, let's say, credit card, just it defeats the purposes. Your academic part is not going to work, and if you go above some permitted services, like here, let's say, let's go to this one, tone analyzer. Let's view here what you are going to observe. I'm sorry, my internet seems in the hotel is very slow. I don't have so many resources. I'm in Wi-Fi in a hotel, so it's not coming. Anyway, when you go to any of the services, you will see the rule of what is free and what is not free. Why I'm stressing to the credit card? Here it is. This is what you are going to see. So you see that for this specific service, 1,000 API calls are free per month. But if you put with the academic account, nothing is going to happen. If you go above, you just are not going to be able to do anything. And this is plenty for us in the classroom, so we don't have any problem. Now, if you put a credit card, it will be charged. Okay? So don't put any credit card. Work with the academic. There is plenty of room in all the services to do the job we have to do in any class project. Okay? That are the two important things. So every time you go, observe the service. The first thing, view all the documentation which is related with the service. View the demo. Here you can see, for instance, they are nice video about Bloomix, and always learn something before jump directly to what you plan to do as an assignment or directly to answer the question which is asked. So it's very important you try to educate and you understand what you are doing and why you are doing this. Otherwise, it defeats the purposes of what we are doing in this class. And don't hesitate to ask questions. That's why this part of the class we are doing, this part we are doing not as an individual, but as a class assignment. When we go to the data analytic part, to Spark, DashDB, next week, we are going to do individual assignments. So week 3 is crucial. You jump and you get handled to work with this cloud environment packed with a lot of services. Okay? So if no question up to here, if not, I'm going to continue with our agenda, which is the next point. We started previous week with text mining and text analytics, and just for clarification, wherever we refer to the literature, to the two terms, they are almost indistinctly used with the same purpose. So we can use them indistinctly, text mining, text analytics as the same thing. But as you see here, I have one graphical presentation which is quite complicated, but very instructive, I would say, because we try to get more clear understanding of a lot of different concepts which cross our screen when we read, and we try to discern what this refers to and what is the purpose of this. So in your previous classes, Data 630, which was data mining, the part of text mining is related to algorithms studied in data mining to do text classification and text clustering. Actually, what you are doing right now in the first assignment is just this part of this graphical presentation, where text mining overlap many different areas with different applications. So right now, we are working in what is text mining in the assignment 1, using your knowledge of data mining acquired in Data 630 and R language to do text classification and text clustering. Other important area in text mining is the web mining. But as you understand, this is just a small subsection of text mining. And another important area which exists for quite a bit is information retrieval, which overlap or is intersection between library and information science and text mining, and some knowledge of data mining. So if you can give it a thought on this graphic, you can read more. There is a reference in the classroom from the previous week, in week 2, and go back and give reflection to what you have learned right now and try to better interpret this graphic. Right now, I would like to point, first I already pointed what we have been doing and where we are moving. We are moving to the right part of this graphic, which is related with what the intersection of text mining with machine learning. This is very important term right now, a very important topic right now, because actually the direction on big data, which is 80% unstructured data, and most of them are text data, you understand that machine learning on text data is the direction from which we hear in any businesses and in any application. So the intersection of machine learning, artificial intelligence, and text mining is what we find here, these three intersection area. Information extraction, this is one of the services in Watson Analytics we are going to explore this week. Natural language processing, of course, we are going to explore this quite superficially, like part of certain of Watson, because the Watson services we see in Blomix, let's say, substantial part of Watson is the understanding of natural language processing. And the other important part is concept extraction. So this week we are going to try to explore the intersection of text mining with machine learning and computational linguistics, without going in deep to the computational linguistics. So since we are not going to go in deep to this, we are going to go in the application area, try to get the understanding where we are moving in text mining and what type of problem actually this type of intersection can solve, which are useful for any business. Ultimately, this is our interest. We have to understand what is the benefits of this. So I have put here several slides in which I'm not going to spend time because we have to go to other points. But I have here summarized the main point I want to see reflected somehow in your writing in the assignment 1. The first slide is just summarizing what in practice is important text mining and how we cannot go even to processing insurance claim or working on biomedical literature and analysis to do search to develop new cure, new medicine, or let's say do sentimental analysis. All these are part of text mining. The terminology here, most of these things you are going to target in your report. I summarize them here because I want to hear that you actually understand this terminology, because it doesn't make sense that you implement something, it runs. I see there is a lot of challenges also with R. Any update, some of the code needs some tweaking, it's not working exactly the same way, and this is related also with the update. So I want that you keep in mind what is the subject. That's why I want to see all this terminology, at least explain part of them in your report for assignment 1. And that you understand the back of talking approach to deal with text, what you are doing in assignment number 1. Okay, question up to here, because this is a summary what I expect to see of the assignment number 1 with R at the end of this week. Any question up to here? I see, Vivian, your hand is up. Do you have questions? No? Okay. We are moving on. Asan, do you have questions? No? You can unmute yourself because I don't see anything in the chat. Oh, I see.
Yes. I just wanted to ask the terminologies. It's related to part 2 of the question. Am I correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
The terminology I put, this is extensive. You have to, of course, focus in the most important and explain. It's very important that when I read your report, I understand that you know what you are doing. It's not just coding something in R using R function that's working, and you give me screenshot and you say, I see this and this and this. That actually this is implementation of the concept. That is the purpose. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
So the point we are starting with, which way this week, they are a couple of good readings starting from previous week. And the most important challenging issue with the natural language processing, we understand that as a human, syntactic ambiguity, word level ambiguity, and interpretation in the context are the things which we as a human, we can deal. But building a machine which can interpret and understand natural language processing and actually respond question produced by human, computer response question, or computer, let's say, respond to your email, is the same thing. This starts with the natural language processing and the main issue related with this. The most important is, as a human, we rely on context and how we train a computer, that computer can understand enough and interpret a natural language processing. Here are very good example of structured and unstructured data, which I very would like when we go to understand better what Watson computer is. We perhaps are going to talk more after you complete the reading on Watson computer, which are posted in the classroom. I want just to point to the challenges there. Try always to give an example. Always when you read some concept, is very important. You can produce an example to support what you understand by this. So this example graphically here is very instructive in terms to understand the difficulty of understanding actually natural language processing. Just one single of these bullets. How can a house can burn up as it burns down? And that is our natural language. That is English. And in order to train a machine to understand, this has to be understood with very, let's say, more sophisticated, not rule, with more sophisticated mechanism, and machine learning is playing big role in this. So we are going to talk more about Watson computer next week after you complete the assignment and you post, let's say, your reaction in the classroom regarding what you are observing. The solution type of natural language processing, the application is very important. When you read an overview, please pay attention. This is not exhaustive application area. And just what we have here is plenty to tell us the importance of this area of application. So very important, keep in mind when you read something and understand at least some example, think about an application area which it can be useful. Here I want to point your attention that we are going to work with single vendor. Like in any class, we cannot use all existing platform, tools, and languages for a single assignment because it cannot work in a single class. Although there are many vendors in the area of natural language processing, we are going to concentrate for the purpose of this class, since the platform is blooming, with Watson. And let's say in this realm, Watson is the pioneer, is the first one. Now we have, let's say, in this direction, another vendor coming with good product. There, Google are coming with Tensor, which is partially similar solution of the problem. But Watson is, let's say, unique and still improving in the direction of cognitive computer. Not only that the natural language processing is a part of it, but going to the paradigm shift of computing, which is the cognitive computing. And when we talk in these previous 2 weeks about big data and smart data, we have to connect our understanding of big data with cognitive computing. When we move from big data to smart data, cognitive computing come to play. And I think we will have a lot of time in this class to talk more about this. So I'm just going to delineate the most important Watson points, and they are 2 very important video posted in the classroom, so you can understand more in depth how Watson uses natural language processing and learning in depth in order to create hypotheses, search for evidence, analyze evidence, and combine whatever evidence finds with statistical confidence level, to giving them a weight to give the answer to the question. So it's like working the way we as a human learn about learn about anything. We observe, we adapt, we learn, and we repeat, and we learn again. So that's are the main characteristics of Watson. Pay attention when you listen to the video to the next 2 slides. The slides will be posted in the classroom in addition to the recording. This is the way it would be answered the question if is by keyword. But Watson is not keyword, no search by keyword. I mean, their application, which by keywords, you can do useful text analytic, right? Not for application like cognitive computing, when we want to go and be able to interpret natural language processing. So as you understand in this graphic, just the keyword search failed to give the correct answer. Only in deep search, in many different directions, exploring different hypotheses, looking for huge number of evidences and many different algorithms. Just for this example, here is geographical information, paraphrasing, and data match was able in deep analysis to get the correct answer. So please pay attention to these 2 graphics when you learn about Watson, so you really understand what we are talking about. And keep in mind that these are the 3 key focus area of Watson. Any question up to here before moving to the next point?